Yeah, I want to shout out my best friend.
Oh,
So I'm sending you love trophy.
Oh, I love that. And Boi Blacc?
Alright, so I'd like to shout out Roombi, without whom this interview wouldn't be possible. I say day ones, man.
Yeah.
It's all love.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. So coming up next, the reason why they're with me here, it's not for shout outs. It's actually for an interview, and we're going to do it right after the music break. So keep it locked right here on Baze Radio. You're tuned into the Link Up with Wakesha on Baze Radio, which is available on the My Safaricom app. The last song played was I Don't Know, Kili Hippie and Boi Blacc. We are officially in the Music Spotlight segment. This is where we spotlight and highlight talented artists that you need to know about. And this week I am honored not to have one but two incredible talented artists. We've got Boi Blacc, who is a dynamic hip-hop artist based right here in the 254, and we've got N'Jiru, who is a singer, songwriter and performer based right here in Nairobi as well. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No. It's very great to have you both here in studio with me. We will be exploring their musical journey and I will let you know in the end why they're here together. So N'Jiru, your musical blends, you blend so many genres, right? Auna ile moja ati unasema tu, this is me, right? How did your journey begin and what inspires your unique sound?
I always say that when I was born, I didn't cry. I just started singing.
Okay.
It was, I mean, music has been a part of my life forever. I don't really have like a time when I can say, oh, when I go to high school, I got into the choir. Nah. I always knew that music was going to be my life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Boi Blacc, I see your music draws from like golden age hip hop, which is you also incorporate like Sheng and English.
Yeah.
Like, so what inspires you to fuse these elements like in your sound and your style?
All right, so private school.
Okay. I hear you.
Private school. But then
Group of schools, yes.
Group of schools. But then growing up in Eastlands, I grew in Buru, spent some time in South Sea. So you're a cool kid. You're a bit broke, but you're a cool kid.
Yeah.
You get?
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I see. Like kuna ile perfect balance, and I think it's so important to also embrace where you come from and the different parts.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to stay like ghetto Sheng because that's now umenda nini. You're like, no, this is my sound and this is my sound. So incorporating and mixing is actually very important.
It's part and parcel. I mean, hata in as much as we say we speak Swahili, kuna venye nitakwambia umeniannoy. I mean,
yes, I get it. Yeah. It's literally part of our language.
Part of our language.
Yeah.
It's a pidgin. It's literally pidgin.
Pidgin, actually. So it's Kenyan pidgin.
So that and influences from my uncle put me on a cassette that tells you how old I am.
Wow.
So there was park park and everything, and we had to play it in the vehicle stereo.
Yeah.
So that was the influence basically. So I was like, shit. I mean, I liked hip hop from like a young age, and it got to a point where I was wondering, like, how would you even make this,
Yes.
And then someone in high school put me on FL Studio. I was like, you can actually make this stuff on your own, and you run with it. I ran with it.
The rest was history.
The rest was actually history.
Okay. So for both of you, how does the Nairobi culture influence your artistry and the stories you tell through your music?
For me, I would say just like living life in Nairobi. When you go outside, the culture, how everything is, as Boi Blacc has said, like it's just a mix of who you are as an individual. You go for a group of schools, but you go outside and it's just like Kenyan life you're living, So it just kind of like influences who you are as an artist.
Yeah.
I just released an album with Chevy Kev. It's called His Streets. And it was such an interesting merge of like Gengetone, urban tone, but also having like the jazz and the electro pop.
Right.
So it's like everything that I feel like Nairobi is such a mix, It's like when you see it in our music, you literally see everything that we've experienced growing up. It's not just one side.
It's always not just one side. And for you, what do you think? How did it influence you? Like or do you have a specific influence? Like where do you draw inspiration?
Me and myself and Kili Hippie, we felt like our generation, we lack male role models.
Okay.
Because when I think of male role models, I think of Kasongo, I guess. But so I'd say
Okay.
proper role models for us would be personally J. Cole, Kendrick.
Okay.
You know, those are people I've always looked up to, and even of like what they speak of in their music is something that I'd aspire to be. Is something that I'd aspire to be for those or other people to look up to me and feel like that's a guy who's actually, how do I put it? Anaelewa pale nimetoka, you get, because our experiences are shared. They're not as unique as we'd tend to assume.
Right. So it's like you're not alone. You're actually not alone in this. But I will be playing songs as we continue to talk about their music journey. So keep it locked right here on Baze Radio. You just had Emmanuel Okelo Max playing right here. Karibuni too. We're currently in the Music Spotlight segment on the Link Up, and this is where we spotlight and highlight talented artists that you need to know about. And this week I've got N'Jiru and Boi Blacc with me. Boi Blacc is a dynamic hip-hop artist based right here in Nairobi, and N'Jiru is a singer, songwriter, performer based in Nairobi as well. So N'Jiru, you worked on projects like Easy Streets, and you know, some tracks that you did, it tackled mental health, and I'm very passionate about that. How was your approach writing the music, and how did you decide to take that approach in your music?
I definitely am pro mental health. Firstly, I feel like we don't talk enough about the things that we go through, and then, you know, we have a culture where like unateseka peke yako, you're out, if you are going through problems, you go out, catch a drink, something like that. And I didn't like that approach when I was stressed. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna write about my pain and I'm gonna be open about it, you know, stajifungia, and I'll be vulnerable. So that's where I started to write more about like this actually it wasn't His Streets, it was Nishike that I wrote about like mental health. And honestly, I got a great reception because guys would reach out to me and be like, hey, I've been going through something similar. Thank you for writing something like that. So I appreciated how the kind of impact you can have as an artist, you know, with your music. And yeah, that's how I came to being open more.
And it's so great that it resonates so deeply, right? And we're actually chatting about it when you guys were on Music Break, the whole alcoholism thing, right? Yeah. So it's good that you actually wrote about it. Boi Blacc, your album, The Black Circle, it was a unique collaboration with Kili Hippie. We've had some of the songs. How do you ensure your collaborations align with your vision as an artist?
I think also the company you keep in terms of the relationship you have with your co-writer, in this case that being Kili Hippie. The themes that we talk about even outside making music usually were the same, so I think it rubbed off. It applied once we decided to, you know, get down to track listing and writing a record.
So you said something very important. You knew each other.
We knew each other.
You knew each other before you were like, okay, let's jump in. Let's do it.
I've known this dude since we were like 5.
Wow. Okay.
Because we were in primary school together, and then whenever I went to high school, you know, guys branched out and everything. But we linked up again, and it was very straightforward. Let's link up, let's make music. And just the relationship we have where it's like, this is my big bro. It informs everything that we write about, the music we work on. So it's very easy to, I guess, do quality control. In terms of what we want to talk about in a particular record or a track.
Okay. And for both of you, what's the secret to balancing creative differences in collaborations? I know, N'Jiru, you've also collaborated with some people. So how do you, because as you said, you're 2 people, individuals. You could be friends, but there are some things that you're like, actually, I prefer writing in a more deep way. And so how do you balance that?
So for me, collaboration is a big thing because what I lean to in music is exploring. I don't have a particular sound. So for me, collaborations are a bit easier because I'm more open. It's like, hey, this person is about this. How can I fit, or how does N'Jiru fit into this kind of music, you know? So for me, collaborations come way easier than it might maybe for some people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Boi Blacc, you mentioned something very important, that you guys came together and created a sound. And there was mutual respect, right? So what if like you've now you're busy creating something and then there's like I don't like it, but my co-partner anataka. So how do you navigate that when it comes to music?
I think an open mind is needed because a lot of times, especially in the past, when I was still trying to figure out how to make music and everything, you'd find you surrounded yourself with people who okay everything you do. So you never get an actual, reflection of is an assessment basically of what you're doing. So, okay, I'll put it like this: when you're making an omelet, you have to break a few eggs.
That's
so.
True.
So there's definitely songs that will never see the light of day.
Yeah.
Because they're just not good, and I thought they were good at the time. But there's times Kelly Hippie would make a decision and where he's like, yo, I just don't think this works.
Not the one.
Yeah. Okay. And I'd have to, trust that.
And also mutual respect for one another. I think that's very, very important.
Yeah.
But speaking of collaborations, stick around right here on Baze Radio to hear what Boi Blacc and N'Jiru have been working on together. That was Through My Teeth, Boi Blacc and N'Jiru playing right here on the Artist Spotlight segment with Wakesho. This is where we chat to talented artists that you need to know about. And this week, I've got N'Jiru and Boi Blacc live with me. Guys, this song is a banger. Yeah. I just had to put it out there. First of all, before we continue, I love it. It is so nice. It's so nice. And I like the way, we were talking about collaborations. I like the way Mli incorporates your own individual styles are still there, but like you put it together and it sounds good. Yeah. But you've both performed at, incredible events and stuff. What is the most memorable performance? N'Jiru?
Oh, for me, it has to be when I came back onto the scene earlier this year.
Okay.
And I did my first performance for His Streets.
Okay.
And this was my first proper album.
Nice.
And guys were out there in the crowd and I was but today's a totally love. It was I had never experienced that. So that was so wholesome. So definitely when I got to perform at Tangaza this year.
Okay. Boy.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd have to say during the release, or let's say the listening party for Hisi Demo.
Okay.
So Hisi Demo was a collaborative tape where we had Kelly Hippie, myself, and an assortment of artists, really talented people. And if I'm to rate all my performances, I'd say that one was the most engaging. That was I enjoyed myself. Clearly the people that came through enjoyed themselves. It was just a whole vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's so important to see that the reception, I guess, from people, right?
Yeah, that validation, it kind of tells you, because a lot of times you're your biggest, not a lot, every time you are your biggest critic. So now when someone else validates it and they're like, yo, this is actually, you've put in the work and everything, it feels good,
It feels good.
Yeah.
Going back to Through My Teeth, once again, a powerful collaboration. But what was the inspiration behind the song?
N'Jiru, you take this.
With that, I feel like it was just talking about, sometimes you can be in a relationship and there can be a real communication barrier happening between the two of you,
Right.
And actually, I feel like this song actually had that communication barrier.
Yeah.
Because he's saying he's got too much on his mind, and no matter what he says, I'm just I feel like you're making me feel small.
Yeah.
So I think it was just letting out those frustrations.
For Boi Blacc, I saw a lot of vulnerability and struggle. You were really expressing yourself. And what brought you to this point? Who write so deeply, bruh? We felt you here.
Personal experience.
Okay.
You get so So where I there's times where I actually realized in a relationship, communication skills is not just a unit in university. See units ni it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
It's an actual thing. So
it's true.
So there's times I was really struggling to communicate with my significant other. And despite all these things, it's someone I still greatly care about.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess this was basically be painting a picture, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, and N'Jiru, once again, addressing the frustrations and stuff. I like the balance because this track feels like a dialogue. It's not like somebody's talking over the other person, because this is actually real life, like perspective of love and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
How did both of you ensure the balance and connection came through?
You know, it's interesting that you said it felt like a dialogue, because when we were writing it, that's exactly what we were going for.
Okay.
We're like, we need to make it like a dialogue, because when we heard how the lyrics were starting to sound, it was just like, hey, this is really giving, we're trying to communicate, but we're not being able to get through to each other.
Yeah.
You know? So that's actually, I feel like you hit it spot on.
10 marks for me, 10 marks for me. But what an insightful conversation. I want to play Chezandani by Kilihipi and Boi Blacc. When we get back, we'll hear what's next for N'Jiru and Boi Blacc. So this is the Music Spotlight right here on Baze Radio. That was one man, Bila Boi Blacc, playing right here on the Link Up on Baze Radio with Wakesho, which is available on the My Safaricom app. And if you've just tuned in, we are currently in the Artist Spotlight segment. This is where we spotlight and highlight talented artists that you need to know about. And this week, we've not been chatting to one, but two artists, Boi Blacc and N'Jiru. We have been chatting about their individual musical journeys and their latest track, Through My Teeth, which was released last Friday. You guys have been doing amazing things, huh? But looking ahead, what is next for both of you? Any exciting projects, collaborations that people should look out for?
Actually, this particular single is part of a 2-track single.
Oh, yeah.
So we're releasing the next one in January. Nice. So guys should expect another heartbreak song.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. I also have a gig today at the Miss. So if you're around, you should pull up.
Please, don't walk. Run. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Boi Blacc.
All right. So earlier this year, I had an opportunity to perform at the Sunday Acoustic Soul Sessions.
Nice.
And so they're having the second edition. That is tomorrow.
Nice.
At Move Cafe and Bistro. We're going to have Matt Ngesa, M. Roombi, Clark King, and Kinoti.
Nice.
So yeah, make time tomorrow, Maze, if you're in the neighborhood. It's worth your money, worth your time.
Okay, pull through.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
As for myself, there's a ton of releases.
Okay.
Next year is gonna be lit.
Nice.
Yeah.
We cannot wait. How do you see your individual in collaborative work evolving? Like, I'm so glad, first of all, kuna part 2. Can't wait to hear that. And Yani, as you continue to grow as artists, like, do you think that it's so important to continue the collaborations, or you just wanna, like, I wanna hear from you guys?
Personally, when I started out, I made a lot of music where my only collaborator has been Kilihipi. But there's more to learn. There's more to experiment when you do collaborate with people.
Right.
And I can't stress it enough how artists need to collaborate, because it puts you on the spot. It puts you on the spot in terms of, especially for rappers, like you come across that rapper who will annoy you by how talented they are,
right,
you know?
Yeah.
And it's always a good thing, because competition is, it provides the best conditions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
No, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. Yeah.
We just did a little rhyme there.
Yeah. You did a little some for us.
He's a rapper. He can't even help it.
Yes.
As well as I said earlier on, for me, exploration is such a big part of my musical journey, and I really look to collaborate a lot. So I do have mad collaborations coming out next year, and somebody called me a sonic shapeshifter. So with the music that's gonna come out next year, it won't be one sound, but it's collaborations with many different guys. Yes, so I can't wait for you guys to hear it.
I'm absolutely looking forward to that. Finally, where can listeners, stream your music, like Through My Teeth, and follow your individual journeys? Where can they, socials? I want to hear your socials. Yeah.
Well, you can find Through My Teeth on all streaming platforms. And if you want to follow my journey, you can follow me on The One Who Sings on all social media platforms.
Okay. Boi Blacc.
all right, so you can find me on all streaming platforms. You can find all my music on all streaming platforms. And on social media, it's @_Boi Blacc. That's BOIBLACC.
And if someone has, come across N'Jiru and Boi Blacc right here in the interview, what song would you recommend for them to start with and why?
I don't know. Should I let you go first, or should I just say mine?
Go for it.
All right. Personally, I would advise you to listen to Black Ops.
Okay.
I actually made this song in my entire discography. This is the one song that I actually produced.
Okay.
Yeah. So listen to Black Ops. It's fire.
All right.
I feel like you've put me on the spot because it's like, which one of your children should we?
Oh
like,
my gosh!
Should we
I'm so
interact
sorry.
with?
The pressure is getting worse.
I mean, I would tell them to start with. Oh my God! I'm sorry to all my babies. I love you all. I would tell them to start with E-Love because that is a personal fan favorite.
Okay.
So far, but also like 4 a.m. So I'm giving you guys two options because you'll see the whole thing of like the two different sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally to Christmas time, and I want us to spread some love. Who do you want to, wish Christmas wishes? Nini, Happy New Year.
I want to wish actually my entire team.
Okay.
This year has been great for us. I want to shout out my manager, Mrumbi. I want to shout out Killy Hippie for this song that he produced because I feel like we've been working hard this year and I feel like we can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. Boi Blacc.
I mean, definitely I love to shout out my family because those are my behind the scenes supporters and everything. My mom's be praying for me when I'm doing the most. When I'm not doing good, so definitely shout out to my fams. Definitely Mrumbi for just plugging me because he be doing the most. Just like N'Jiru says. So a lot of love just goes to those guys.
All right. Thank you so much. You guys are indeed artists that need to be spotlighted and heard. And I'm glad that we sat down and had this conversation.
Yo, thank you for having us. It was a blast, man. I had fun.
Yeah.
I did too. I loved that. The energy was great. And I love Baze Radio.
Yes. So we have got the press play segment coming up in the next hour. So keep it locked right here on Baze Radio.
This is Baze Radio.
We are 254 to the core.